Alright, so let's run through 4 to 2 for a minute, right? I will kick things off. Alright, so my number 4. Speaking of M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh no. Oh no.
During the middle part of this decade, you know, he had a comeback, right? I didn't see The Visit. The Visit was alright, you know, I was that. But then Split hit me, and I was like, yeah, Split hit, right? Right, I was like, yeah, Split was good.
Yeah, I love
And
Split.
people kind of lost their shit when, you know, the post-credit scene come up. It's like, oh my god, it's part of the Unbreakable Universe. Ah! And then Glass came out this year, and I was like, what?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is my number 4. Number 4 is Glass.
Right.
There's an old saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. What is 3?
Shame.
all of us.
Yeah.
It was
Shame on
rough.
us.
It was rough.
I really had to think about this, guys, right? Because I mean, there were other bad films in 2019, but this one was like, and it came out in January too, right?
Yeah,
But in this
rough.
case, it was like, okay, this is like the Shyamalan Renaissance, if you want to call it that, right? But there's no excuse for this being. Yeah, but there's no excuse for this being so bad. It felt dated. It felt like this is something that could have come out long before Split. I mean, you're talking about you're turning it back to a movie that came out in 2000, right? One of the best movies you ever made. Right? You took one of the best like realistic superheroes like ever put on screen, and slight spoiler for those who haven't seen it. But I mean, why would you want to? And decide the only way to kill him is to submerge his head into a puddle of water. And this is how you kill this character. This is how you kill this character.
Yeah, you do.
Samuel Jackson didn't need to be in that show. And they tried to tie it back to him and the mom, and it made no sense. I mean, James McAvoy, I mean, he's doing the whole Split thing. So come on, we see it before. It's like, oh wow, he's
this is my number 3.
Yeah,
So
but
you can
one thing I just want to say though
skip my
before we get to your thoughts, because as you mentioned, there's a number 3, and this is something I know you're gonna bring up. And there was so much people that wanted to defend the show, like, oh my god, but it's so well shot, and it's James McAvoy and Samuel Jackson and all these big actors. Like, no, but it was a really shitty script with great actors in it. I'm sorry. No about the cinematography.
With a lot of good actors that was.
I'm gonna get to that too. I'm
Oh
gonna get to
my
that. But I just want to run through 3 and 2, and then we'll get to your 4, 3, and 2, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So let me pull this up quickly. All right. So number 3, The Predator. Yes.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry.
You mentioned it. So.
Like, I'm not saying, okay, so in terms of franchises, right? Like, I understand, the first Predator movie was just like this gimmick, right? Like a high concept. Let's take the slasher concept and let's just take some of like the male badasses of cinema and let's put them against like this intergalactic trophy hunter.
Yeah.
There's no reason why he's doing the stuff that he's doing, but he's doing it, right?
Yeah.
You've had so many opportunities to explain why. Why he came down there? Why he attacked them people? Why?
Move on, Marty.
And now we have this one here,
Move on.
and it just does not
Move on.
answer anything. It was just sloppy writing, and as you mentioned before, you're not too sure whether Shane Black was joking or if he just didn't understand the material and all that kind of stuff. It just made no sense to me. Hated it, right? And number 2 is my only tie here, and when you think about it, it really makes sense. Movie 43 and Inappropriate Comedy. Both,
I didn't watch that.
yeah, both similar, right? Both are.
I see part of movie for it.
Yeah, both are these, sketch comedy kind of vibes. No, but Inappropriate Comedy is way worse though, and I couldn't believe it.
What the hell am I watching?
No, movie 43 was really, really bad though, but
Yeah,
Inappropriate Comedy
Yes.
was
I agree
worse,
with that
was
one.
worse. But just to talk quickly about movie 43. So here's the gimmick. We're gonna take your favorite actors and we're gonna put them in these like really raunchy, like vulgar scenarios, and it's so bad it's supposed to be funny. So let's have Hugh Jackman with, with balls dangling from his chin. Haha, isn't that funny?
Hilarious.
Let's have Anna Faris with her, now ex-husband, Chris Pratt, and have her request that he shit on her chest. Haha, funny, right? Yeah, it was just painful to watch. But Inappropriate Comedy was more kind of lowbrow, like it was really going for like dark, like midnight vibe kind of stuff. But it was just painful to watch. Like both these shows were torturous to watch. Like Inappropriate Comedy has Michelle Rodriguez, it had Adrian Brody, you know what I mean, and they were just wasting this movie. So torturous, total waste of times. I hated those two movies.
Yeah.
All right, so what's your 4 and 2 regard?
Right, so my 4, Prometheus.
What? Okay, like I know Prometheus isn't good.
My
Like
chest.
for me, it was Alien meets Blade Runner. Like I get bad.
That bad?
Compared to Alien Covenant, though. Like Alien
No,
Covenant
no,
was worse.
Alien Covenant had problems, but Alien Covenant was like, okay, like, well. Alien
Prometheus
Covenant
at least
it had
tried something.
Yeah, it had something. But I found Prometheus was so bad and so dumb.
No, same. Agreed.
It was,
yes.
it was so stupid.
But it was beautiful.
So bad.
It was interesting.
No, it wasn't.
Look, it was just meant to answer one
Again,
question.
okay, let's say, okay,
Alright.
let us declare something. Let us set up something here. It's not about quote unquote objective bias.
Okay.
So you want to say there are worse movies out there? Of course, yes. But for hype and expectation for what you got, jeez, buddy.
Alright, understood. Yeah.
So I was like in theaters like, what the F is this? It was so bad. Alright, moving on. Next.
Yeah.
Is that time for number 3? Time for number 3. Glass. Glass was ass.
Yeah, Glass was ass.
And then the Snowman.
I skipped on the Snowman.
Yeah, the Snowman.
I heard how bad it was.
The Snowman, right?
Oh,
the
yes.
Snowman
Oh, my.
had the Snowman had is a really good book. So you're thinking, I'm going to get a deal with the drama chapter.
Yes, that's what
Kind
I
of
thought I
vibe
was
now.
gonna get. Yeah.
And they just mess. I don't know. No, that's one of those movies that I said it's like fan posting. It clearly some behind the scenes shenanigans went down. Because no way something can be that bad being put out. Well,
Right.
it was so bad. And what it had a boy in it, and he coming up next. Twice in a row.
I know you're coming from Fassbender.
Anyway, so number 2, this is that kind of tie for 2. Die Hard 5.
Oh my god, that was so bad.
Yeah, which I really hated.
Oh my
That,
god.
I mean,
so bad.
I remember
One of the worst action movies of all time.
By the way, I watched an IMAX.
Oh my
I
god.
was like, you paid IMAX
I
money
feel
for
like
that.
that's
Give me
money for
back
that.
my
So
money.
that cut. That
Yes,
one cut.
yes.
And that same week I was kind of broke to it. So I was like,
Oh my god, double P.
Please tell me you didn't watch it for Valentine's, right?
No.
It came out on Valentine's. I
it came
remember
out, I watched it the after.
that. Okay,
Well,
okay.
And then Assassin's Creed.
Ah, yes.
Oh yes. I forgot about that.
I skipped that. I skipped that movie.
So a couple things.
Was that 4 Fassbender movies in a row?
Tell you, Joe, the man
Oh
have a
my
horrible
God.
agent.
Fassbender boy.
The man have a horrible agent, dog. Anyway, couple worth mentioning stuff. Well, the last Airbender, yeah, I because I'm not attached to the material, I didn't hate it as much as all but yeah. This one burned me personally. Stargate Origins. This is not a movie. It's a TV series that sucked. And it was like so bad. It was
Right.
like the worst things ever.
Yeah, I know what
And why burned me so much is like, dog, you're bringing back Stargate and this is what they do, Joe. This is what they do, boy. Like, only have, you have a chance to bring back Stargate. Look, I'm a defender of Universe. I'm a defender of Stargate Universe. I know Stargate Universe have problems, but I'm a defender of it. But this is what I gonna do. No money spent, lazy, bad writing, nothing. And then all Cloverfield paradox. So bad, waste of time. Just again a scam. Effectively was a scam. But of course, number 1, leave. We know what that is.
We're gonna get to that in a bit, right? All right, Claude, you want to share your 4 to 2?
Okay, so actually, well, number 4 was my what the hell movie, and that was Hellboy this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hellboy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And it came out this year, right?
And that's important. You know why? Because I went to see Hellboy with a group of friends, right? And I'm coming afterwards, and I'm talking about the scene where, and I'm talking about the scene where Hellboy fights, like a whole subplot where he goes to England and fights with the giant hunters, and they get betrayed, and then fights the giant sword. And my friend says, "Oh, I forgot that was in the movie."
Yeah.
Because that movie is so much just crammed into not enough time, and it doesn't look good. It's ugly. It is hideously ugly to look at.
Yeah.
The director, the writer, the studio, and Dave Harbour playing Hellboy all have different ideas of what they're doing.
Right.
No one can agree on anything. And the thing that makes it sting the most is we got this instead of Del Toro's Hellboy 3.
Yes.
That
Absolutely.
I know.
That hurt.
Right in the hands.
Yeah. Right.
All right, what's your number 3?
That's my number 4. My number 3, I'm going to say, this is another one where the people involved are what makes this disappointing, but my number 3 is Oz the Great and Powerful.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
It's That's a movie that, at first glance, it's just another disappointing live-action Disney movie. You know, James Franco is Oz. It's this origin story thing. It's mediocre.
Yeah, that was bad.
And first you're like, okay, this movie's just mediocre. And then you see who directed it. Sam Raimi.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
and
didn't realize
people
that.
said Sam Raimi made this crap. And then there's like, and then the one random Bruce Campbell cameo in that movie that just like, blink and you'll miss it, makes sense. But no,
Why?
one of my favorite filmmakers, one of the most energetic, lively, original,
Yeah.
like Quick and the Dead, Dark Man, like holy crap,
Yeah.
made Oz the Great and Powerful.
Yeah.
Like,
It was bad. Yeah.
that movie stings.
And what's your number 2?
Number two, I'm gonna go with. I'm surprised Ricardo didn't bring up this one, but maybe I don't know. But my number 2 is Batman versus Superman, because with that one, I knew it was bad going in. I went in with like lower than low expectations, and I was still amazed. I went in knowing it was going to be bad, but like I was kind of expecting like at least a schlocky good time, like Suicide Squad. Like, okay, I'm going to know this is stupid. I'm going to know this is bad, but maybe I'll have some fun with this. Nope.
Good.
Like
Summer, what's your 4 to 2?
Okay, so my forward actually matched you with Independence Resurgence. I said biggest meh of the decade.
All right.
So I'm gonna slip in another one there, and I'm gonna say Robin Hood 2018.
Right, yeah, that-
Ooh, skip that for a reason. Skip that for a reason.
so bad.
So bad.
That was
Didn't
what
know
2018.
what genre it wanted to
Clueless.
fit into.
Clueless.
I just watched that and I'm amazed at how wrong. How can you get Robin Hood so wrong?
Yeah.
It's not that difficult a story to tell, you know?
No.
And then I have the Emoji Movie.
Right.
Ah, yes, this honorable mention for
And I
me.
put here, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This
Yeah.
this movie made Angry Birds look like a Pixar movie in my comparison.
Yeah.
So no. Right? And then I also have The Nun as biggest disappointment.
Ah, yeah, I heard
Because
really bad things about that.
I felt like as a person who loves horror and what James Wan and Lee Wannell has done with the Conjuring franchise is amazing when you consider what it is, that it's a horror genre franchise. The Nun, they had a fantastic concept for a monster, to give us a new monster like in the vein of Chucky and Jason and all that, something memorable. And it's just completely wasted in that movie. That movie is a bunch of nothing. The Curse of La Llorona is a better movie than The Nun.
And that's
Oh,
the trouble.
And
yeah,
that's
I heard
trash.
that was trash. Yeah,
This
it
is
is.
a dumpster fire.
There you go. That's it for my 4, 3, and 2.
Right, cool.
All right. Julian, 4 to 2?
Okay, my 4, Dark Phoenix. This movie did not need to exist.
Oh my gosh,
It
yeah.
just like nobody is trying other than Fassbender trying a little bit, but the movie just a giant waste of time.
What's frustrating about that, again, you could have, if you did take the time and you put it a little later and they finish up this arc and then do these things, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
They take your time.
No, but by then everybody just stopped caring.
Nobody cared. It's just like we had to make a movie like make it. and
Jennifer
put it out.
Lawrence died in it and she's just like,
Yeah.
Whatever. Get me out of this movie.
But for me, the bigger misstep was Apocalypse. But yeah, this one is still as bad. I couldn't care.
Right,
However, yeah.
right. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is Gods of Egypt, which
Yes.
Oh my God.
I will admit.
I forget about
Oh, but that's a guilty pleasure for me.
It was so bad.
That was a guilty
Oh my
pleasure for
God.
me. It is so funny.
Somebody worse
Yeah.
CGI and acting and everything
And all these,
ever.
this pantheon of white gods
people.
that
Yes.
just
White
blow
folk
my
in Egypt.
No, but it didn't work, yeah.
And I'm continuing my Egypt theme with my number 2, Exodus, Gods and Kings.
Oh
Right.
I know you were gonna
Which
bring
had,
that up.
which had a white Christian Bale playing Moses. And how do you a movie in this
I do
decade?
And it was kind of
way
boring.
worse
though.
than 10 Commandments.
And it was more boring actually.
Yeah, that's the
Boring.
thing. I thought it would have been. Okay, I don't think it was the worst thing ever. But yeah, one of those super tone deaf. Super tone deaf. Like, God cast better thing. Like, everybody was like up in arms or whatever. But whatever. But I was like, I'm gonna get something. And it was boring.
Yeah, it was
Boring.
boring, yeah.
And this is a movie with 10 plagues and it's so dull. Oh my god.
And it's Ridley Scott. I mean, come on. Good. Yeah.
Because you saying 10 Commandments, I thinking gosh.
Prince of Egypt.
Prince of Egypt.
Right.
Yeah, Prince of Egypt.
That's my watermark for.
Now, but 10 Commandments had better special effects than this
You know,
movie.
it's really sad. Alright, see.
And now, folks, the moment of truth, boy. The number one worst movie of the decade. I will come in last. I want you all to share your own. Claude, what is the worst piece of crap you've seen for the past 10 years?
Clash of the Titans.
Okay.
And I will explain.
And a clap for that one. And a clap for that one. No, but think about it. It's a remake of
classic.
a classic.
Yeah, no, I love the love everything.
Here's the thing. Here's why Clash of the Titans is like my worst of the decade, right? I am a huge fantasy science fiction buff.
Right.
Like the 80s and especially like the 70s to 80s, 90s era of fantasy is some of my favorite. And one of my favorite films of that decade is the original Clash of the Titans, which was Ray Harryhausen's last movie. It was his swan song of the genre. And so they come up with this remake that's not only a generic piece of garbage that proves that Sam Worthington can only act when he's in blue CG makeup. But
Even then, not so well.
But it's a movie that actively disrespects the original.
Yeah.
True.
Like there's the moment when they find the one robot owl and they're like, I'll just leave that.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you?
Worthington is in my black book for doing that.
Yeah.
I have so much hate for that at particular moment, especially.
It's like it's like they knew the original existed, but either A, actively hated it, or B, didn't care. And Ray Harryhausen's one of my favorite filmmakers, a master of the genre.
Yeah.
And just disrespect his legacy that brutally, and to remake his last movie, like it's one thing if they just remade his last movie as like a generic action film, like that'd be one thing. But to actively disrespect the last movie of a master is what tips it over the edge of that extra bit of bad for me. And that's what it's my worst of the decade. My worst favorite. It's one that hurt me most, I should say.
Yeah. I thought you would have tied it with Wrath of the Titans, but then I imagine you probably just skipped that shit altogether.
No, I watched it and it was just generic bad. Like it wasn't like it was just
Because it was a new story.
Right.
I call this one, I can't believe I went IMAX to see this. And also, first movie ever made me wish I had a remote control so I could fast forward that shit. Transformers The Last Night is the worst freaking movie of the decade.
So I didn't see it when it came out. And he saw it, he reviewed it, he hated it. And I was like, okay, and I had a flu that day. I was like, alright, I have no energy, never watch something. And I get something that is total trash. Let me see if I can get the most trashy movie that's from my brain to just coalesce over it. And
we've had days like this.
I'm watching this and I'm like, what the hell going on, Dread?
Thank you.
Bad. It was really bad. Really, really bad.
And it made so much money and I'm so pissed.
It rough.
It made me, I nearly did not see Bumblebee.
Right.
Because it made me hate Transformers and it wasn't even the poor robot's fault. It was Michael Bay.
Freaking big.
How do you mess something up this simple? I'm sorry to say, but it is a simple, straightforward case. And you just crap all over it. You try to force fantasy elements with Merlin and stuff that doesn't work.
Okay, this is the movie that did the whole Harriet Tubman thing, right?
Yeah. The part of this group that keeps that holds the secret.
Apparently the Underground Railroad is a real railroad with a transformer train.
Right?
And they were Transformers in World War II. Fighting the
Yes,
Nazis.
fighting Nazis.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
It's disrespectful. It's, as you said, tone deaf. The robots, the Pacific Rim robots are so much better looking than these Transformers at this point in time because they all blend and I don't know who is who. I hate this movie with a passion. So that's my worst of the decade. That's my number one.
Fair enough. Julian,
My
worst of the decade.
is one of the few non-genre ones of my top 10 lists. And I'm sorry, Baywatch. It's the worst movie of the decade. And you want to know why? Because how do you make a movie in this decade that is even worse than the crappy, campy series that is based on?
Yeah.
And the thing is, Oh my god, how do you have a comedy where nothing is funny
Yeah.
and
Nothing
it's
was
based
funny.
on a series that give you T and A and all this one give you a bunch of P, a bunch of penis. I ain't come to see a bunch of penis. You have Priyanka Chopra, you have Alexandra Daddario, two of the most beautiful women in the history of time, and this movie is not sexy. I don't get me started on this stupid CGI fire and
that was my mind.
the
That-
plateau. And it's just I hate this movie.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
When they missed the point, like okay, when I saw it, everybody's thinking, alright, they're doing the 21 Jump Street.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
yeah.
totally, you see the thing, the original Baywatch was like a working, you see, they have no memory of Baywatch. That's wrong, they didn't actually watch
Right.
it.
Yeah.
No,
They didn't
Yeah.
actually watch the show.
No.
So they
No.
was like, oh, well, we just have to do the 21 Jump Street thing and then do, no, they missed the point.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right. Ricardo,
Yeah, well.
we did it before on our
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
This is your final chance. Well, maybe, I guess. But yeah, lay waste strip.
Pretty
You
goddamn,
know what it is.
Pretty goddamn obvious.
Yeah.
Batman v Superman don't just.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, get that baby. Yes, no,
This movie, no, it has been a while. Okay, so I remember I had a conversation with a friend about Star Trek Nemesis.
Mm.
And I remember Star Trek Nemesis
Right.
was so
I
bad.
kind of like that movie.
I hate Star Trek Nemesis.
I know,
Like,
I know,
But I
kinda
remember,
like it.
I remember having like a kind of self-reflection moment about how this movie is so bad, but it actually made me angry. And I was thinking about how, wow, a movie actually made me angry, right? And I was like, nah, that's never gonna happen again. This was like in 2014, right? And I was like, that's never gonna happen again. Nobody can make a movie that pisses me off that much. And this movie came out. And this movie has, I would argue, I think it did a detriment to my mental health in the last 3 years. I have literally, no seriously, I've literally not stopped talking about this movie for like basically the 2 years after. And people talk about the American election, Trump got elected. What? No, Batman v Superman existed.
Yeah.
I've got
no humanity.
because it was a movie that listen, it is so bad I literally started to engage in conspiracy theory thinking about it. It's like you know they beam something in my head and they read
It's
and
from
they
an alternate reality.
yeah, and they wanted to like actually make me like ruin something that I actually wanted to like, and so they actually like scanned my head to see was it was possible movie they could make. It was that. It was like no, but like no, really a secret billionaire wanted to like make comic book movies look bad. That is why this movie is the way it is. And
So you're saying Scorsese came up with the prop concept.
you want to like
I'll destroy them all.
everything about this movie just do like listen. This thing. Okay, so let's be clear about it. It is not objectively the worst movie ever, fine, right? But for what we could have gotten, and I'm in the camp that defends Man of Steel. I'm in the camp that defends Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel have a ton of problems, but to me, Man of Steel is a film you could have just tweak it a little bit, make a couple changes, a couple of reshoots, tweak the script a little bit, and then it would have been much better, right? Change a couple things. I think only really Man of Steel have one big error, and that's Jonathan Kent.
Correct.
In my opinion.
And how they got rid of him.
Oh yeah, completely.
But everything
And
else.
they made Superman dumb.
No, but again, that's stuff that you cannot tweak.
Right.
But with Batman v Superman now, they had an opportunity to say, alright, you can forget the bad problems with Man of Steel, pivot from it in a smart way, give us a sequel to Man of Steel, do this, and they decided to just rush everything, pull everything.
Yeah, and just in this pathetic attempt to catch up with the MCU.
Exactly, it had no that's the
Yeah.
thing, they had no reason to do that because
Yeah.
just take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time, people will be on board. And what's so frustrating about it, again, this is the mental health part. I swear, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you openly say that you like Batman v Superman, you're either a troll or you're just ignorant. You don't know how film works. That's how I feel, and I still feel like that. Like people making noise over Last Jedi, I still make noise over this. Right? I like Last Jedi for what it is. I mean,
Me
Last
too.
Jedi, I get why people hate it and whatever. But this is
Yeah, that's
No,
me
this is
too.
something
I
that just-
I don't
this is
really
something that just-
despise it the way everybody does.
burn my prefrontal cortex. I can't believe a movie this bad. I cannot believe a movie is this bad. Holy shit. Look, okay, so here's the thing. This ensuing years has been quite therapeutic because other people in my camp has taken my side for virtually all of those arguments as a structure overall film. Yes, the film have a good moments. Batman fight was cool.
Yeah.
But by the way, that makes the film worse because you have good shit in this bad movie.
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
frustrating. By the way, and the only thing I'll say at this point, the only thing I'll point to is go watch Really That Bad by Bob Chipman.
Yeah.
right?
Great
He has this
analysis on that.
Yeah, he has this great rundown of the film. He covers about 95% of my takes on the film. That guy, great editor. The man knows stuff.
Yeah, Movie Bob is the truth.
Right.
Yeah.
He come good with that, and I just sit down and that. But when he finished that, I was like, Bob, if I'm meeting in person, brother, I'll just shake your hand, buy a beer, whatever it is. Because dog, you cover it, Joe. You cover exactly all the problems with this movie. So he did this, and I'm glad that exists. But like, if that didn't exist, boy, listen, seriously, I have literally thousands of words on the internet in comments, posts, all these things, just me obsessing and just pissing off, just arguing over this movie, complaining about this movie. Can't believe the movie, because they literally ruined the DCU with the movie.
Yeah.
Just think about what went on here. Just think about something for a second. And this is one thing I keep going back to, and I'll shut up. And we're done. How you can have Batman and Superman in a movie together, and you can't cross $1 billion?
True.
Think about it.
How? You know, is William hurt?
How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up?
History of Violence, great movie.
History of Violence, right?
Yeah.
William Hurt. That is it. Right? Captain America Civil War came out that same year. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
Chalk and cheese. It was so, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Whatever.
Right.
Over it. I'm glad the DCU. I'm glad the DCU is going in a new direction. Shazam, Wonder Woman. Look. And the most frustrating part is that look, I like Snyder. You know? I like Snyder as a filmmaker, but
Me too.
boy, you slip here, boy.
That is his big problem. Like, he's a good filmmaker. He doesn't get Superman. At his core,
Agreed.
Snyder's problem is too cynical to believe that someone like Superman could exist.
Thank you. That is
That's
absolutely it.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright, so my worst film of the decade.
Right.
So, right at the same time when Summer was driving into IMAX to suffer through a particular movie, I came out of that same screen. Yes, Transformers The Last Night is the worst thing I saw of the decade. I believe you saw me on the phone, right? Like on the phone. I was quarreling to my mom because I was telling her, how could I have spent my money on a Thursday evening to go and watch this piece of shit? Like, how could I have spent money in IMAX to watch
I was
this?
still doing reviews for Loop, Digital's Loop.
Right.
And I said in my review to them, do not ask me to do any more Transformers. I am done. I am done. Yeah.
This movie broke me. It was so bad that literally a day afterwards, I came in here to this room here, and I did a rant review. My first ever rant review on Was a Scene about how bad it was. And I only saw it once, and it scarred me. Everything that they did.
Because okay.
Was
so that's
was
last
bad.
point because I'm going to the best movies. Gotta get there. Michael Bay. When 4 came out, I was like, look, I remember 4 came out and I gave up. Cause 3 sucked for me, at least.
Yeah.
No, it sucked.
Even though 3 was better than 2, 3 sucked for me. And I was like, alright, Michael Bay should give up. When I hear he was doing 4, I was like, alright, whatever, I'll go and see it. And when 4 came out, I remember it had a moment in 4 that was so stupid. This was when Optimus Prime suddenly get back his abilities and he repaired himself magically somehow. And you had this, I remember just sitting in the theater, and this was back when I was being paid for reviews. I remember that this guy in the audience, right, like he was like about 2 rows before me, and this guy was yelling at the top of his lungs how awesome this super stupid scene was. And the man was like, yeah. So when Optimus was like repairing himself somehow, this guy was like, oh boy, that what we talking about? And I was like, and
no explanation.
And when that happened, I was like, that's it. I lose.
Yeah.
I lose. Checkmate. That's it. This is how Michael Bay wins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not my audience. It's not me.
Yeah.
It's a whole this universe that exists that I'm not part of.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I gave up with 4. I was like, this is Michael Bay. Whatever. I didn't go to see last night. I just said I'm not gonna see. I gave up.
Yeah.
And then you tell me to take, I get sick, I don't watch it.
Yeah, right.
I like it was stupider than I expected.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
yeah,
I mean, if you want to hear my thoughts on it, I'll put a link to where I did the rant review. But in a nutshell, just looking back at it like 2.5 years, I guess, from now, here's the biggest sin to me with this movie, right? Like, okay, I would say that the first Transformers movie Michael Bay was born to direct this. This was up his
Yep.
alley. It was like the perfect summer
It was
blockbuster
fun,
movies.
yeah.
Came out right time,
Fun.
right?
Yep.
And then from there,
Yeah.
his ego just got in the way, and then it was
I know.
just 2, 3, 4 just went
The
down.
second film, I kind of defend because
Yeah.
it had a writer's strike at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
The big
Yeah.
writer's strike at the time, and he, like, okay, I have no idea if the movie would do it better. I have no idea, but writer's strike really hurt things.
Yes,
Like it hurt
yeah.
everything across
Yeah.
the board. So I was like, alright, whatever, it's bad, but whatever. And then 3 came out, and I was like, what? 3 slightly better, but it still sucked.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
whatever.
And we thought that was the end,
And I thought
and then
we
they had
should have
to, and then they had to start over a new trilogy or something. So
And then
with,
they
with,
had
we got it done.
with Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg in it, right?
Right. Wow.
But the thing with me with Transformers the last time, why I have it there, right? It's like the biggest ego trip ever. Cause okay, 2, 3, and 4 people didn't like it, people hated it, cool, right? But this one is your last out. You back it, you bowing out before somebody else comes in to do Bumblebee, right? And you say, here's what, right? To all the fans, to all the people who hated on the show, whether they were fans from the beginning or not, I just go and give my final middle fingers and then I leave it, right? So he just shits not just on the people who were in on the franchise from day one, but also the diehard fans of the original series itself. So you coming in with, oh, Earth is Unicron, and oh, we're gonna brainwash.
That's canon, you know.
Yeah, I know, but the way how they deliver it was terrible, just out of the blue. And then they want to brainwash Optimus.
It was like that.
You want
Yeah.
Unicron, you get Unicron.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And then you want to brainwash Optimus, and then you bring it back and oh well, it's Bumblebee and it's through the power of his friendship. It's
The love
like
of Bumblebee.
Bumblebee, my brother. I'm like, what? And then no, you want to say, oh well, it had Transformers in World War II and in England back in the medieval ages, well the Dark Ages basically. You want to do all that kind of stuff. So you just want to add a set of world building that makes no sense, Jen. And then the
It
biggest.
honestly feels like a bunch of people sitting in a room and be like, so what we could do if we put this
Yeah.
for part time? What if the Knights of the Round Table done? Put it in.
Yeah, and
I have an idea. What about the Harriet Tubman? Yeah, let's do that, right?
yeah. The story made no sense. The action scenes were uninspired. They literally lifted from other shows. Like there's a scene literally which is a rip off of Suicide Squad. Like when you pull Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad.
That is like beating up a skinny kid. Come on. That's
But
correct.
last thing I'm gonna say, right? Biggest sin of the movie, right? So just when you're thinking, okay, Optimus going to be also he's the titular last night in the film. Oh no. The last night is actually Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg is the last night. Because he can wield some kind of sword.
Mr.
He's a last night.
Mr. constantly looks confused or angry.
What?
Yeah. Anyway, say no more. This was a slap to the face to me. This was a slap to the face to everybody who actually defended his movies from 2 to 4. And I don't know, he just took a giant shit on the franchise and left. But hey, thank goodness that Bumblebee was a success. So hey, sorry, we don't need Bay anymore for this.
Bye bye, babe.
Yeah.
Bye,
Bye bye.
This is where I get to feel self-righteous because I never watched any of the Bay films and started with Bumblebee. But I got
Lucky
You're
you.
lucky.
Watch one, then go Bumblebee. Skip everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.